Any news this week, or is it just a full like book review? Alright. Oh, okay.
Hello, everyone.
Go. Yeah. Yeah, I think this one's our first like video conference from three different places. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me wait, how long did it take all of you guys to finish the book? Because it took me about 4 days.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow.
Sometimes I have to do more. It'll be like 125.
Mhm.
Uh, I
Awesome.
usually listen to the audio book as well.
Yeah, I do as well. Yeah, I met Mark Thompson at Celebration. He was one of the coolest people I've ever met, and he was just walking around the convention center just casually. And this guy is worth a lot of money. This guy is worth a lot of money. And he was dressed up in Jedi robes, and he was going to the High Republic panels, and he was just such a fun person to talk to. And yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, when we were at the High Republic panel, Mark Thompson, he started saying Martian Row, and then the whole panel with Cavan Scott, Justina Ireland, Claudia Gray, DJO, they were all just, like, looking around, just like there was just a moment of silence for about 20 seconds, and they're like, "Fine, a Markion, fine."
Mm,
Yeah.
all right. Ah, I see. It's depending on the location, it's changed. Mm,
It's all about your interpretation, it's you can't you can't get into a fight about how you pronounce someone's name.
It cannot be dumber than our argument about the difference between a cup and a bucket. You cannot be that dumb. Mhm.
I've never gone into Oga's when I was at Disney, both California and Florida. I've never because I think you need to get a reservation. Yeah. I never I never got into Oga's Cantina. That's the one thing that I really wanna do the next time I go. I so when we were in California, my girlfriend came with me. We went to Disney on Sunday. It was around like 8 o'clock. We literally were in line for 30 minutes for Rise. 30 minutes. It was fast. Mhm, mhm. When was the Guardians ride finished? Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh,
It doesn't. It doesn't count.
no.
No, I don't no, it doesn't because, I
Yeah.
mean, essentially, Obi-Wan saves himself in a way. He saves himself more than what Anakin did, but Mhm. Yeah, Obi-Wan had to step up from what Anakin did because Obi-Wan, he already had his problem resolved. Like, he had Roog with him, um, and then when Anakin pulls up, with Mill, they're like, "Oh, blah, 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 blah." But, no, I think essentially Obi-Wan saves himself more than Anakin saved him,
Yeah.
but that's just my thought.
Yeah. Oh, I was popping there a little bit. So yeah, I mean, uh, that I agree. It doesn't count. Although, according to some interviews, Mike Chen is kind of leaving room for the Legends Cato
Mm.
Nemoidia event to still take place, the Labyrinth of Evil one, because
Oh, yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
he's a big fan of Labyrinth of Evil.
I mean, I bet he took a lot of inspiration from that book, and brought it into this one
Yeah.
with Kate and Amoidia, and I don't know if, Katasura was a place in Labyrinth of Evil, but, uh, maybe it was, but I'm glad that, Mike Chen used a lot of different, uh, inspirations
Uh,
to create,
yeah.
Kate and Amoidia's, landscape and
Yeah.
all these other different places.
I feel bad
It's
now.
cool.
Shout out to Element for making it clear that people couldn't hear me till now. um,
Oh, Element's here.
yeah,
Oh,
Element's in the chat. Um, I
uh,
guess we'll talk about my Disney trip later again. But it's gonna be on my TikTok. How about that? Y'all will check it out on my TikTok. Um, but yeah, so it doesn't count. Kid and Moita doesn't count. Both Element and Chaco have made good videos about it, and
Mhm.
Chaco made a really good video explaining that it's one of those situations of he's already resolving it. So
Yeah, yeah, like I said,
yeah,
he essentially fixed it already, and Anakin just came in and just took all the credit when Revenge of the Sith came,
and
and then Obi-Wan had to tell him off.
in fact, almost messed up Obi-Wan's plan.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like he comes in and he's like, "Hey, I'm here," and then lightsaber bounces off of him, and he's like, "Oh, whoops,"
Well, yes, I didn't need to do anything.
because Obi-Wan's like, "I hid my lightsaber. I was gonna pull it. It was gonna be an awesome move, and then you got in the way." Uh, I love all the characters in this book. Uh,
Yeah. I thought,
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
oh man,
like Mill is amazing.
Mill's my
Yeah.
favorite character in the book.
Oh, and then
I love her not just because of like who her character is and like
I
but
like what
like
she
how much
represents.
Anakin trusted her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she represents and shows that Anakin is a great teacher.
yeah,
Like Anakin, I think obviously we know the path that Anakin has to go down, but I think Anakin
Yeah.
could stand up as one of the best Jedi Masters if he was patient.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he shows his early potential with Mill, and we see the type of teaching that later goes on towards Ahsoka.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
Mill being this youngling that Anakin brings with to Caden Amoidia. It's just like, wait, this is like the most far-fetched thing that Anakin's ever done, and he has done some crazy stuff. But I'm glad that Anakin was able to put all of his faith in Mill, and Mill was able to sense that there's a big problem,
Yeah.
and that she was a big help in helping Anakin resolve the
Uh-oh.
issue
Yeah.
when they got to Caden Amortia. It's like, oh, I like he there's a bomb active and there's no turning back with this guy. Like you cannot like shake him.
Correct.
And I think that Mill's character is just she is so young but so powerful, and then I feel like that she was the Ahsoka before Ahsoka
Mm-hmm.
when I was reading this, because I was like, she could have been Ahsoka if, obviously what happened with
yeah.
Mill at the end of the book.
Yeah.
But
Which we
it's
can talk about. This is a spoiler chat. Just to clear that up for anybody watching, if you have not read Brotherhood, I recommend it. Go read it. This is gonna have spoilers.
the book's been out for over
It's over a month now.
Yeah, it's a day over a month. Yeah.
So I feel like it's safe to talk about. I mean, we talk about it 2 weeks after it's out, anyways. For usually, this episode had to be spaced out because of Celebration.
Yeah. I remember you had it planned for
I
what,
think the
May
weekend of
28th?
yeah.
Yeah, May 28th. And yeah, that was hard.
Yeah, so we were like,
there was no way.
no. So
I could do that.
Nah. And I get it. Yeah, we managed to have a good episode though that week. But yeah, like so obviously Mill leaves. Let's just throw that out there. Mill leaves.
Yeah.
So once again, very much the same path of Ahsoka, like you were mentioning. Like this is prototype Ahsoka for Anakin. Anakin obviously doesn't have as much connection to Mill to where it's a problem. But I think this is where Obi-Wan sees that Anakin has the potential, and that's probably why he recommends to Yoda, hey, give him a Padawan. Because we know in Clone Wars, it's Obi-Wan and Yoda planned for Anakin to have Ahsoka behind Anakin's back.
Yeah, and then when I was reading that scene where Anakin and Mill are together, I look back at the the Clone Wars movie where Anakin's like, "Oh, who are you, Padawan?" And he's like, "I'm Ahsoka." And she comes in, Anakin thinking that was going to be Obi-Wan's new apprentice, and then it's Anakin's, and Anakin's like, "Oh, what?" Blah, 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 blah. But Anakin in the book said that he is not ready to train, but one day he will.
Yep.
And that was like a clear-cut indication that she was the inspiration for Ahsoka. Well, obviously she's a Zabrak and Ahsoka's a Bruta,
but like his inspiration to want to teach. Because up until that point, he was like, I don't want a Padawan at all. And then by Clone Wars, he's still kind of saying that, but we know that's not true.
Yeah, and you see a lot of good moments with Anakin being a good teacher, especially with when he's like kind of babysitting the younglings.
Yeah, at the beginning of the book.
Yeah, and you see that where Mill understands that like that he's a good teacher, and he's like giving these kids like these like fun little stories, these activities, and they're telling them about like what it's like to be a Jedi and what it means, and and Anakin's influence and being able to tell these kids what it's like to be a Jedi at his at the time of like him right now in the book.
Yeah.
It's super cool, being able to hear him his point of view of what a Jedi actually means, and the kids are just super interested in him, and
Yeah.
it's just it's super fun. I mean, obviously, the kids are interested in him in an event that happens 3 years later in the temple, but
Yeah, but I mean, and it's the same, like, and then of course Mace comes in doing his Mace thing, but
oh my God, Mace Windu in this book.
but al-
Skywalker,
but also
report.
but also we are to defend Mace, we are seeing this from Anakin's perspective, because
Mhm.
each chapter is from the perspective of the title character of that chapter.
Yeah,
It's Game of Thrones. It's very Game of Thrones. You have the
yeah.
character
80% of
perspectives.
it 80% of it is Anakin, Obi-Wan. Every once in a while it's Rooks. Once in a while it's Asajj
Which
Ventress.
Rook is also an amazing character. Let's not
Yeah.
ignore the Nemoidians in this book. Like,
Yeah, who would have known that I would like an Nemoidian so much?
and like even the other Nemoidian.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
good old Kitar.
Yeah, even Kitar I like to a point. I can see I disagree with what he's doing, obviously, but I get where he's coming from. Like, he's like fundamentally he's correct. It's the
I don't approve of what you're doing, but
His
I
point of
understand
view.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I get why you're doing what you're doing, and I understand it, but you're going about this the wrong way.
hmm
Um,
And then especially when Ventress comes into the mix.
yeah, and
That just
Ventress
makes
is
it even worse.
yeah, Ventress is like,
Yeah.
so Jedi are bad, right? Yeah, they're bad.
They're here
The
to
boss.
ruin your planet. They're responsible for the explosion on Katasura. This. And then Kitar just and he's just indulging into all of this like Jedi hate, and he's just loving it. But
Yeah, and then of course when Kitar finally tells his backstory at the trial of Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
yeah, the trial of Obi-Wan. That was one of the best scenes. I think the best moments of Obi-Wan as a character, because
Mhm.
when his speech literally like contradicts when he tells Anakin, "Oh, I'm not brave enough for politics."
But it also shows why
This is
Obi-Wan's
why.
yeah, it shows why Obi-Wan's known as the negotiator, though, for sure. Like,
Yeah.
while he did not succeed, it definitely is he's a negotiator. This is
Yeah.
um,
He knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he wants to say and what he needs to say. But I mean, what happens in the book is did not go the way he wanted to,
Yeah.
despite his wit and his ability to sway some of the people that are in the room.
But it's funny the reason he fails, because it leads right into what Kitar is saying, because Kitar's like, hey, the Republic doesn't understand what Nemoidian culture is actually like, and the fact that Obi-Wan is, because Nemoidians are known for being factual and going by the facts in front of them rather than emotions, and because Obi-Wan is relying on that, it kind of proves Kitar's point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm forgetting, but like isn't their justice system like they're very like on the point? Like they don't there's like no weights, there's no like there's no hassle. They just go right into it. Like
Yeah, and it's
just like
it's just
chop,
a
chop,
judge,
and
and it's just a judge. There's no jury thing. It's just a judge
Yeah.
decides, and so the fact that emotion won the day kind of proves that Kitar's right. That
Yeah.
you don't understand Nemoidian culture, because obviously if you did, this would have been a more emotional thing for you to try to converse with me on, but you presented facts only, and even then you didn't have all the facts to present, which Rug wouldn't have cared, but Obi-Wan, being pragmatic, was like, I'm not going to call Rug out.
No, I think because whenever the Republic looks at Nemoidians, they always think of the Trade Federation, of course.
Yeah.
They always think of Nute Gunray, they think of Runa Hako, they think of everyone that was involved in the Trade Federation, just because of this like
it's the public image.
This surface level view of what Nemoidians are. And obviously we find out that the Trade Federation is neutral right now, which I mean obviously it's not gonna last very long, but
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Lot is still technically part of the Republic by the time of Clone Wars, but not really.
Yeah, he's kind of the piece in between. He's in the Republic Senate, but he's also in the
He's also working with
yeah.
um and then of course we get Satine,
God.
which her speech.
Oh, Satine, I love the Satine references and especially with Dexter Jetster bringing up Satine at one point. Yeah.
Love me some Dexter Jetster.
Hey, buddy.
I'm excited that this month so we talk about the Star Wars Insider short stories when they come out. And this month's one is going to feature Dexter.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Cuz they've been doing the 20th anniversary stuff, so they did Zam and Grievous so far. And so
Okay.
the next one's going to be Dex. And so that's going to be fun. But yeah, I like seeing him. I like hearing more about him. I kind of want a book about him because we get to know more about his whole affiliation with the underworld.
Oh yeah, with Dex.
Yeah, so I would like an underworld type of story with Dex.
Yeah, I would like to know how he found a Camino saber dart while he was prospecting on Subterrell, you know? But no, it's just I like that Obi-Wan goes to him for information about Cato Nemoidia. And that it's because it was like one of the main complaints about Attack of the Clones was that why is Obi-Wan going to this guy in a diner for information about a
Yeah.
a weapon or about a piece of a weapon?
And it's just like,
But it's
well,
like
he knows the
it's more
information.
it's diving deeper into this book by saying that like yes, Dexter Jetster is aware of like all of these outer rim territories and like all the mid rim and colony worlds, and he's aware of the galaxy and where everything is and what he's been a part of because he's been around a while
Yeah.
and he has done a lot of things.
And they kind of make it clear
So
that he's an information broker first and foremost, and the diner's kind of his cover.
yeah, essentially. And I find that to be one of the coolest aspects of Dexter Jetster because not he doesn't just make the best Nerf burgers in the galaxy.
And have the best
He also
mustache.
knows yes, that too.
But yeah, and I kind of like the friendship that we see because we see that Obi-Wan has this actual legit friendship with him, and it's not,
Yeah,
yeah, to the
yeah.
point,
It's not just like it's
yeah,
not just business, but it's they have a close bond with each other, and I like that.
which I hope we see more in the Obi-Wan comic. I don't know if this next issue's out yet. I'm behind him my comics for this month, um,
Mm.
but I hope we see more of him and Obi-Wan's friendship.
I'm just excited to read Padawan.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
I'm upset
like
though that it's
Kirsten White.
yeah, I'm upset that it's still not gonna deal with the Mandalore arc yet though, but we'll get there.
Yeah,
I know
I-
some others in our sphere that are also upset about that.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, what were you gonna say, Seth?
Something noticed at the start of the book, and I brought this up with you uh, when you were over here Tuesday. I was like, who gave Palpatine the authority to like decide who was being knighted or not?
Yeah, like
Like when?
yeah, like so Palpatine doesn't really decide the knighting. I get it that it's still within the Jedi's purview, but he's invited as like almost like when
Yeah.
almost like when you do your college graduation and they invite like say
No.
the governor or the mayor of your town. It's kind of like that, and then
Yeah, but this is a little bit different. That's like inviting the president to like a high school graduation.
yeah.
I'm like, this is weird. Why are we letting this guy here?
The real problem is that, and it's something that has become a hot topic discussion in our TikTok sphere, that Palpatine decided that the Padawans are soldiers now.
Well, he didn't. That's not like entirely true, but I mean, there is the the Military Integration Act, where
Yeah.
it's like if right when you become knighted, or right when you become a Padawan, you're sent off into war.
Yeah, but that was a Palpatine thing. It's like I guess the Jedi had a say,
Mhm.
but we don't hear
Yeah.
about that. We just hear that Palpatine created this act that So as far as we know, it was a Palpatine, like it could have been an executive order sort of thing.
Yeah, but I feel like it was with like the Jedi Council could have had some jurisdiction when it came to who they wanted to send into battle, but so I guess it was mainly Palpatine, but
Yeah.
there's many ways you can look at it.
Yeah. I mean, it's, and then of course that becomes the whole child soldier thing. But I think
Yeah.
I definitely want to lay the blame more at Palpatine's feet. But you're right.
The other weird part about it is this one doesn't seem. We've been reading the High Republic.
Yeah, we've been reading the High Republic.
Whereas it seems more like a grand ceremony in that one. This one, it just seems like someone signed off on a paper and was like, "All right, we're done. Get them out of here."
Yeah, like the knighting ceremony is definitely treated differently.
Yeah.
And on top of that, of course, we see the difference between like Lena So as a chancellor versus Palpatine, and we were that's the thing we talked about because he's finally read The Rising Storm.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, so we can finally talk about the Senator Toon and how he's like, we don't want the Jedi like involved, right? And so like he's like, Jedi are great and they can be kind of involved, but we don't want to rely on them. And now we're seeing the cost of relying on Jedi. We're starting to see that toll in this book.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of great that last week we did Rising Storm and this week we're talking Brotherhood. It's kind of a perfect back-to-back. But yeah, so there's
Jedi are symbols of the Republic. Are they now, Chancellor? So
now they just are the Republic. But yeah, I kind of like. I also think it's interesting because going back to Neimoidian culture, it's kind of teaching us as fans Neimoidian culture as well, because much like the Republic, we have the same view of Neimoidians.
Oh yeah, all we saw of them was bad stuff for like 20 years. Of course, you're not going to love them immediately.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you mean those people that keep sending robots to like fuck up my day? Guys.
Yeah. I mean, so there's that, and so like I think it's interesting because I think Lucasfilm and the story group are doing a great job at showing us different sides of different alien cultures in Star Wars that we haven't seen before, and teaching us more that, hey, it's not just the space level. Because they're doing the same thing with Tuskens and Mando and Boba Fett, and now they're doing it with the Neimoidians here, where we're learning, hey, there's more. And so I found it interesting because especially because the prequels did not do the best job with Neimoidians, because everybody just remembers the racist characters with
remember them. That was about it from the Neimoidians for the longest time.
Yeah, like most people remember the racist Asian character and that they're the bad guys. and so, and so to have
also the racist junk dealer, but
yeah.
Send 2 Jedi, fuck it, kill them.
Yeah, but to see now that they're kind of turning that on its head and going, no, there's more. It's good to see. I don't know if they'll ever. I mean, I would argue Clone Wars kind of did that for Toydarians, but not to the same degree. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we get a little bit from King Katunko and these other people, but I don't know. I don't think Toydarians get enough love.
Yeah.
I don't know if they should get love, but we don't see them very often. So
I agree with the element. Roog is goated.
Roog is goated. I love her.
Roog is great.
Like, Roog comes in and is just like, hey, Obi-Wan, you don't understand anything. I'm going to tell you everything, but you're still not going to get it. And also, I'm going to save you. I'm going to make sure that this goes the way that it needs to. If anything, Roog saved Obi-Wan, not Anakin.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly. That was what I was saying. I was like, Obi-Wan is with Roog. Yeah, like he is like already like orchestrating like how to like resolve this problem and how to escape. Roog's already with him, and then Anakin just slides in and just wants to take all the credit.
Yep.
But like, do you mind like talking about Anakin and Padme's?
Yeah, we can talk about Anakin and Padme
in this book.
Not at all.
Because Anakin and Padme in this book, that was some of my favorite
it's
Star Wars.
it's
ever.
interesting to see, yeah, because so last month we talked about Queen's Hope, so we had Padme's perspective of the relationship, and it's kind of interesting because everybody's arguing, everybody says, oh, how could Padme fall in love with somebody like Anakin who has obvious red flags? Well, when you're in love, you don't notice those red flags sometimes,
Mhm.
and so we got that perspective, and now we can see from Anakin's perspective in this book how things are going, and he's a little bit more in the honeymoon phase to the point that everybody sees it.
Yeah, and I like how their dynamic connects with the Queen's trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
I like how there's like little tidbits of information that you can see in the Queen's trilogy that's being shown in this book.
Yeah,
and I
because
love
this is
that.
supposed to be a direct follow-up, essentially, according to Mike. So, like,
Mhm.
I kind of like that too. Yeah, and I like that everybody. It's the worst kept secret that everybody is just like, oh, he's dating Padme, but they don't
It's one
know.
of the things
They
that
don't. They just don't know
everyone
married.
knows, but no one's gonna say anything.
Yeah, they just don't know married, which is where the problem lies.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just love how when you watch Attack of the Clones and you see that scene when they're in Naboo when they're by the fire
Mhm.
when Anakin is talking about wanting to have a secret relationship and everything. And so there's a quote in the book when Padme and Anakin go out to dinner, like, after dark.
Mhm.
And I was like, because as I was reading the book, I was just jotting down a bunch of different notes in my Google Docs just to keep tabs on all the cool stuff that I saw. And this one was Padme said, "You are not a Jedi Knight, and I am not a senator. We're just a married couple having dinner." I
Oh.
was like, my heart. I was like, she doesn't care about the hiding anymore. It's
Yeah. Like honestly, the hiding is the problem. Like if they were just straightforward and like, hey, we're a couple, we're married, the Jedi would be upset, but they would probably have worked around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it depends.
I think
It
they
depends.
they would have found a way to make it the Jedi would have found a way to work around it, or they would have just said, "Hey, you can't be a Jedi anymore." Like, and that wouldn't stop Anakin from doing good deeds. That just means he
Yeah,
couldn't.
I mean, that would be a cool what if? What if they found out that Padme and Anakin were together and then Anakin can't be a Jedi anymore and then Obi-Wan talks to him about Satine and how Obi-Wan wanted to leave the Jedi Order for her and how they're like that would be a cool story.
Yeah, because at the end of the book, we get Obi-Wan watching Satine's speech, and he's like, "Should I tell him? Should I have the talk with him now?" And he's like, you know what? He's maturing. I'm noticing Anakin's maturing because that's one of the themes in this book for sure. Is that
Yeah.
like the
Mhm.
maturity level that everybody's going through, and Anakin is mature. Like as soon as he's knighted, he almost like a lot of his immaturity kind of drops.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's because he's knighted or because he was already starting to mature, that's up to interpretation. But then,
I gotta say something weird, but I think hanging out with the clones is good for him.
oh,
To an
absolutely, I
extent.
think the clones are definitely good for Anakin. Like it's definitely
Yeah.
like being a leader. I think is definitely helping him mature a bit because he's realizing, oh, this is how Obi-Wan feels, and so like, and Obi-Wan also is like, oh yeah, I noticed a lot of Qui-Gon in Anakin, and he's like, that's why we've been butting heads so much.
There were so many Qui-Gon references in this book.
The fact
I
they
could not
reference
get
Master and
enough.
Apprentice, and they reference because they talk about Pygel and everything,
Yeah.
which he's listened to it with me, but it's been so long. So, and we're gonna get back
Weird.
to it this season for the talk show. But
Fever Dream.
yeah, but yeah, so like, it's great hearing these references and Obi-Wan realizing that's why we couldn't get along when he was my apprentice because he's a lot like Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it now.
Yeah, it's like all you need to do is watch the Phantom Menace and seeing Qui-Gon's defiance with Obi-Wan and his individuality from the Jedi Order, and then you can definitely compare the two. Like they're almost identical, Anakin and Qui-Gon,
Yeah,
and it's so cool
because yeah,
seeing those tying together.
Yeah, because he and Yoda overhear Anakin talking to Mill, being like, "Hey, just follow your heart, do what you need to, just do what you think is right. And
Mhm.
that's when Obi-Wan clicks it, and it's because he's like, I've been thinking of how to serve the Force, how being a Jedi specifically works, not the deeper workings of that and what it
Yeah.
means. And so, and I find that, and also Yoda sees this, which again goes back to our Yoda and Obi-Wan think he's ready.
Mhm.
And so,
Ready for a Padawan. Mill over here. I'm leaving the Jedi Order. I can't do it the way you guys are doing it. Goodbye.
yeah,
um, yeah, I hope that Mill comes back.
same.
Mill comes back.
I hope we get a sequel. I want Mike to write another story because the one thing that we don't really resolve for me is the Anakin scar because it's not resolved. We don't have that yet.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to seeing that, like, maybe they'll canonize that Ventress gave him the scar in the book, but it never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking that scene where Ventress comes flying out of nowhere.
when Anakin's fight, when Anakin is like flashing back to his fight with Dooku.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking like that would be that moment where he gets the scar, but obviously that doesn't happen.
And once again, another maturity moment for Anakin. Anakin learned from his fight with Dooku, and he's like, I should not rush in.
Yeah.
It's like, what would also be great? If I had that lightning shit he used on me.
He did? I missed it then.
Yeah. Anakin's like, man, I could just zap her and that'd be done.
Hold on, Element just said he did get the scar. I didn't see it.
No, I do not remember him getting the scar in the book.
I don't think he did.
I mean, I'll trust Element. I mean, I'll look back.
Element, give us the page number and
like if Element says so, I'll trust him for now. And I mean, I'm not gonna argue because I know he knows more than me.
I don't trust Pep. Pep's the wild cat. He's probably wearing my podcast's trivia belt on his shoulder, just trying to like speak facts. He's like, hi. Yeah, Anakin did get a scar. You just don't know what you're talking about.
He says it was subtle, but it happened when Ventress was coming down with the slash, and it said it was too late.
Oh.
Okay. Man. Okay, because, like, Anakin doesn't react to it, like, during that. Like, he just walks away. Like, he and Obi-Wan are... I guess it's the adrenaline, like, because him and Obi-Wan are leaving.
It might be one of those things where it's, like, wasn't noticeable enough to, like, be a long-term problem.
Okay, said Anakin was going to block it, but it was too late. Okay. I'll look back on the fight. I'll trust you, because I'm not gonna... I'm not gonna argue with.
Don't trust him.
So I
guess it would be another great thing is Anakin just adjusting to his new hand.
Yes, like the whole because it's only been a couple a month at most since attack at this point.
He's realizing that it's a lot stronger than his normal one.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. I don't know what chapter that fight is in, so I can't just pull it up.
Wait, which one?
The Ventress fight.
Oh, I think that's chapter 47?
47. You know what? We got a little bit of time. I can pull it up real quick.
I believe it's chapter 47. It was somewhere in the 40s. I know that for a fact.
Let's see. Maybe 46, because this is Anakin's perspective. It might be 47, though. Let's see. 45, they finished getting the bombs, which, thank goodness for Mild.
Yeah, thank God. If she wasn't there, that could have been a whole different outcome.
Let's see. Transmissions are jammed. So I think 47 is when, because it's Obi-Wan's perspective, I think that's when they're talking about how he and Rogue have to fight each other.
Yeah, Mill wasn't there then. Infirmary would have been in flames.
Yeah. 47 is when Obi-Wan and Rogue are like, "Hey, we got to fight each other publicly, so that way it looks good for the cameras."
Oh yeah.
So it must be 48. You're strong. Count Dooku will be most interesting. Yeah, because Ventress is trying to pull Mill. That's that when Ventress is trying to pull Mill. Oh my god! And then she's like,
That was a very good moment.
and then she's like, I
Where you're
know,
just like,
I know
holy-
Zabrix. She's like, I know all about Zabrix.
So, in hindsight,
I'm
it's very
looking at
funny
yeah.
that Ventress jumped one of the most powerful characters in the Star Wars universe. The equivalent of like a hallway.
It must be near here. I'm looking at the fight. I just can't find the exact moment because I'm reading the fight right. Like I'm like, oh, this is the fight. This is it. Where is it at? Yeah, she's talking about the Zabrick. Was it near the end or the? We got Pep in the chat still, I think. Page 296. Okay, so I'm a couple pages ahead.
Yeah, when I was doing all my my note taking for this book, I have like 16 different pointers that I found out that it just like there's just moments that like just put a smile on my face that I just wanted to write down. Like there was another one with Anakin and Padme. And I said Anakin and Padme have a moment where Anakin isn't used to his cybernetic arm, which she consoles him and she holds his cybernetic hand, similar to their wedding.
Yeah.
And then this one made me laugh. Padme tells Anakin that she'll miss Anakin's short Padawan hair and that she doesn't want him to grow out his hair like Obi-Wan's. I was like, I want mullet Anakin. It's possible.
I mean, we kind of like he grows out his hair for sure.
He does, yeah, but he doesn't get a mullet. And
No.
that was the biggest shame. You get this guy right here with his long, luscious hair.
For some reason, I can't find that exact phrasing, but I'll have to sit here and read it myself later. But I'll look on that page for sure for it. I just can't quickly skim it right now. But I also like the I like the ending where he's like, "Hey Obi-Wan, if we're gonna be on camera more, we gotta do something about your
We
hair.
gotta sell this."
We can't be looking like punks on galactic television.
I'm also like trying on the armor and Anakin being like, "Why the fuck is it this heavy?"
Yeah. But there's a lot of good moments in this book. I really liked it. I recommend it for sure. So for people who haven't read it, if you like, I know that a lot of people have trouble enjoying Anakin as a character to a degree. I think this does a good job of kind of getting you into his frame of mind. And if you like Clone Wars, then you'll definitely like what's set up here.
Yeah, and then mainly because this book isn't heavily reliant on Anakin, because this book I see it as an Obi-Wan featuring Anakin Skywalker book.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Kenobi show.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, if you like Anakin's character, it doesn't matter if it's bad or good or you don't like the way the character was written in the prequels. It changes your perspective in this book. So
yeah. And if you just like, and if you like Obi-Wan, if you like Ventress, you'll get plenty of that.
Yeah, Ventress is very cool in this book. She's very ominous. She's very behind the scenes. She has her hood up.
We get to
no one knows that she's an assassin.
Yeah, or even a Force user. Like the Force using thing isn't a thing until Obi-Wan's like, "Oh, I get how you got into Kitar's mind."
Yeah.
So the Sun Dragon story is there's a lot.
Yeah. So I guess I'd put this in at a 9 out of 10 for sure, maybe 9.5. This is like a near perfect book.
Yeah, I give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's one of my top 10 favorite canon books.
Yeah.
So far. Where does it rank on your list?
Ooh. See, I'm a big High Republic guy right now, but this is probably up there with like not Rising Star, with Fallen Star. This is up there.
Oh yeah, of course. Fallen Fallen Star is absolutely incredible. It's sad but incredible.
Claudia broke she almost broke my heart.
Oh no, she broke my heart about 10 different times in that book.
Rising Storm. So he read Fallen Star first, but after Rising Storm, now he's finally had a chance to be sad because he's like, oh, it all connects now, and now I'm sad.
Oh yeah, these characters mean so much to me, and yeah.
So where do you put Brotherhood, Seth?
I think I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Okay, so still really good. I mean, that's still
Yeah.
really good. So yeah. So next week we don't have a guest, but we're gonna go into something different. We're going into the Edge of Balance, Volume
Ooh.
1 and 2, because Volume 2 is
Actually,
coming out.
I was talking to Element 7 the other day. I forgot what it was about, but he mentioned Edge of Balance.
It's
And I forgot what it
really
was
good.
for.
I've read both volumes already. It's really good. The physical copy for Volume 2 is now coming out, so that's why we waited.
If Pep's in the chat, I want to have him. I forgot what he was telling me about Edge of Balance for, but it was about something. I remember it was like a few weeks ago. He was talking to me about it. He asked me if I read it before, and I said no.
Yeah. And then I think they mentioned that Volume 3 is going to be coming out at some point, but I don't know. But Volume 2 is finally out on paperback, so that's why we waited, because I was like, it's coming out soon. We can wait.
Mm-hmm.
And so that will be fun. I got to get a physical copy of Volume 2, but I think you'll like it, Seth.
All right.
Let's see. I'll give a few seconds to see if Element is still in the chat. Let's see. I think he is.
Come on, Element. Tell me what I forgot.
Because I still see 2 people watching on the Twitch stream, and he's commenting through the Twitch.
Yeah. I'm glad Rug didn't plant those bombs.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. Kitar was about to set more bombs off, and it's just like, no.
He was like, more explosions equals more solutions. I was like,
Oh, here we
yeah,
go.
sure. Yeah.
Oh, he said, oh, you said you didn't know there was a manga, is what Pep said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Star Wars has been really good at doing the manga adaptations for things. I need to I've yet to find Volume 1 of the Lost Stars adaptation. I can find Volumes 2 and 3, but I can't find Volume 1. And then I've got the Rebels Volume 2. And then I don't have the Leia one, but there's the Leia Princess of Alderaan adaptation as well. But I kind of like that they're doing that, because I like the visual medium. Yeah, this is the first original manga. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's next week. I'm glad we got to have you here on the show. So we've got your TikTok, which is Charcharjay.
Yes, my TikTok is Charcharjay.
And then you've got your
Charcharjay.
Yeah. And then you've got your own podcast, the Podwans.
Yes, you can find me at the Podwans podcast on YouTube every Wednesday night. Every Wednesday night we record our Kenobi watch along, and then Thursday we have our Clone Wars rewatch. Next week we're gonna be covering D Squad, probably the best arc in Clone Wars. And then on Friday we have our Kenobi roundtables.
Yeah, and then you also just wrapped up a tournament. Not too long.
We did, yes, we did. We had our Star Wars trivia tournament, and Element 7 is our champion.
Yeah. I'd still suggest going back and watching it, because oh man, it got hot. It was.
Yeah, we had a lot of good matches.
Yeah.
A lot of good matches.
And I know at some point we're gonna try to be on one, because there's talks of the Dyad one.
Oh, Dyad Jeopardy?
Yeah. So that's gonna be fun.
Which I'm not sure when that's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's a Pep question. Pep and Brandon.
Element, give us a due date, and we'll be there.
But
me and Luke will come say hello.
Yeah.
With trivia questions and knowledge.
Yeah. Because there's a
Oh,
lot of
boy.
good dyads amongst us in the TikTok Star Wars community.
Yeah, especially the dyad.
Yeah, the dyad. And then of course we've got well, they're hosting it. They don't want to compete apparently. No announcement right now, but the Jeopardy boards are almost done.
I did try their outline for what they were trying to do. And they
Yeah.
had some pretty tough questions.
Yeah, they did.
They had some
I
tough
was there
questions.
one night. He was asking a few of the questions, practice questions, to see how the difficulty. There were some good questions.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my question, and I still need answers to these two things. One, are ice skaters warm-blooded or cold-blooded?
Oh yeah, the ice skaters. Are they warm-blooded or cold-blooded?
Two, where are the damn trees?
Oh, the trees on Tatooine.
Yeah.
Where Boba Fett got his gaffy.
I don't see any trees there, man.
It's in Star Wars Galaxies. It's not canon, but it's there.
The tricky little bugger showed him the way to get to the tree.
Yeah.
He doesn't know, but
Yeah,
the
that's
lizard.
what I thought. I assumed it was some weird space magic. That's what I thought. I don't see any trees on Tatooine at all.
It's not space magic. It's space peyotes. So it's the drugs, man.
Doing drugs does not give you a stick, Caleb.
It does for Boba
Space
Fett.
Spice.
Yeah.
Space Spice. Yay.
All right. So I guess we'll see you guys next week. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was a great time. Let's see. Any other announcements? I don't think so. Other than if you're watching on YouTube, that's youtube.com/Escape Reality Films. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Twitch, like our friend Element is, be sure to subscribe and follow. Every little thing helps. We also have a Patreon, which is in the YouTube. It's linked down below. It's patreon.com/Escape Reality Films. The first tier gets you access to our Discord where we hang out. We talk about the books that we're reading. We had some good discussions on this one in there. And so a lot of fun stuff. Other tiers get you access to certain things. We're trying to get movie nights going. So that'll be fun. If we had a few more people, movie nights could really get going. Anything else? Anything you want to promote, Seth?
Nope.
All right. Well, this is...
Sorry, but no.
All right. Well, then, thank you guys for watching. I have spoken. And Seth probably doesn't have a phrase still.
You think I'm gonna have anything this time?